Hi, my name is Mark McDowell. I'm the Managing Director of Primal, and today I wanted to discuss how companies can find and hire the right people. So it's an issue I believe a lot of companies face, especially within Thailand, especially in high growth industries where the talent pool can be small, and there's a lot of people that companies are hiring that may or may not always be the best fit. I can share some insights into our interviewing and hiring process. The first step is, how do you attract the right candidates? And I think, it has to do a lot with employer branding, putting a lot of effort out in terms of developing content that people can see online that helps them get a really good picture of what it might be like to work in a company. So I think that's the first step in terms of attracting the right people. Because if you're attracting people to the company, you know that you've already ticked a box where they have intent and want to work for that company, and they might end up actually being more passionate as well, as opposed to people that you reach out to. The second step is obviously the interviewing process and trying to establish fit. So you can't always determine if a candidate is going to be the right fit, but you can take certain steps to make sure that you're controlling everything possible or controlling the controllables in terms of how you interview people and making it thorough to make sure that you mostly make the right decisions about hiring people. Some insights about our interviewing process: we usually phone screen. We just check basics to make sure that they have experience, they're a real person, understand a bit better why they're looking for a new role. We then invite them to come into the office, and typically it's a 15-20 minute chat, and basically we want to get an understanding of who that person is, what are they motivated by, what are they passionate about, check their experiences, and establish whether they're going to be a good fit for the company. So we check for a culture fit and a mindset fit through a series of questions. So within those questions, they're typically 10 questions we ask everybody, and then the rest of the conversation is maybe free flow questions where we ask about their relevant experience. And once we establish that, we actually put people through a hard skills test in the office because we want to check that the skills that they portray on their resume is actually something that they can actually do. So we test them in the office on the spot. Post a hard skills test, we then bring in maybe a senior manager or maybe even someone like myself to take that conversation forward, where I will evaluate that person from a management and company and group perspective. And once we do that, we actually do a peer review. So we get other people who might be working with them, their manager, or even maybe people who they might be managing, to actually interview them and see if they would be a good fit. Test their potential integration into the team. Now, something that we've introduced recently, where we're perhaps a little bit unsure about culture fit, but everything else, but the candidate ticks all the other boxes, is actually we get them to come in and work in the office for a 2-week period. So we call this a shadow week, where we can actually test them for a short period of time and get them to evaluate whether they actually want to be doing the work that they came in for, and if they're actually a good fit for the company. And we can actually evaluate them in that 2-week period before we hire them full time. So we found this process has weeded out a lot of candidates who definitely wouldn't have fit and maybe impacted the business long term, and puts us both in a better position for the candidate and the company to really evaluate each other and make sure it's the right fit for the long term. So just wanted to share those insights with you today. Thank you.